Not too long ago, my husband, my oldest son, now 25, and I went on a walk. We are not the types of people who seek paved pathways and well-manicured walkways to walk in. We live in the mountains, and mountain trails are our preferred environment. My men wanted to help me make a bow drill set for making fire by friction. They are both proficient in friction fire. I am less so. My son has developed himself into an outdoorsman. He is a modern-day mountain man. His work and recreation often take him to rugged country where he will not see another human being for days. He's read scores of books about the original mountain men, Native Americans, elite military soldiers, and others who know how to work with Mother Nature and survive. He's been mentored by some of the best since he was 10 years old. But that is a topic for another chapter. On this hike, we gathered natural materials to make a fire kit for little Mom. They carefully helped me select satisfactory pieces of wood. I told them where I'd seen some nice river willow nearby that I thought might be strong enough and flexible enough for a bow for our kits. So we wandered in that direction, enjoying the warm autumn sunshine and light conversation. After gathering a large piece of willow, in which I was handed a large and very sharp machete and told to cut through the tree, Mom, which I was unable to do on my own due to a hesitance to also cut through my leg, we continued our hike along the river. The river was deep, the trees along it were thick. I followed after my capable son, watching in honest awe as he cut through the branches and leaves with careful but seemingly effortless swings of the machete. He had done this before. It was a natural motion for him. It was comfortable. I was sent into a deep thought as I watched his masculine form create a safe and clear path along the trickling, bubbling stream. A voice that sounded like my own whispered to me, "You have cut trail that same way." It is true, I realized in that moment. I homeschooled my children in a time when there was a relatively small homeschool movement happening. Many times I felt alone. Many times I fought a battle for my children's learning to be what it needed to be, even when I couldn't truly see the path ahead. I often didn't know why at the time. I often had to blindly dig my heels in and insist that we don't want to be on some arbitrary grade level, nor do we want to participate in anything that looks vaguely like a forced, compulsory conveyor belt education. It's only now in retrospect with my 2020 hindsight that I can see that I truly was being divinely guided, and that I was paving a road for those who follow, just as those before me paved the road for me. I don't want anyone else to ever experience the self-doubt, the constant feelings of failure, the complete mutiny of a homeschool co-op, the feeling of being entirely lost and alone despite feeling strongly to walk their little ones in a specific direction, away from the status quo of society's expectations. My oldest child, my mountain man, was my mentor in all of this. Each of my children taught me so many valuable lessons in education, and my hope is to share them with the homeschoolers of today. My hope is to show you the path that bloodied my knuckles and left me sweat-soaked and emotionally exhausted at the end of each day. Because what I now can see is that the greatest path that was forged was the one inside of me. I want to tell you how it felt to leave behind the well-worn paths of government education. It was tragically difficult and often a failing enterprise. It took me longer to figure out than I'm proud to admit. I want to tell you about the ideas that came to me in the dark of night as answers to a mother's desperate prayers. I want to share what worked for us and what didn't work, so that you may stand on my shoulders and see farther than I was able to. This is not a journey of how to educate your children in a conveyor belt way, preparing them for college. This work I am sharing is not to keep you safely within the boundaries of societal expectations at all. That's a different road. That's a different homeschooler website, and there are no machetes there. I hope you'll give this a try, even if it rubs you the wrong way or scares you a little bit. I've learned that those things often mean there is something important there for me.